Hey everybody, it is Wednesday, I think, October, I don't know, 7th, 8th, Wednesday, October 8th. This is Kyle, Sladen, making a little video, just kind of doing an update. I put out a video of me in Oregon, getting vehicular stalked, and, what I wanted to do is just make a short video. I'm not doing good at all. I haven't shaken the targeting. It's gotten more brutal, to where there's been some more near death stuff. I went to Cancun, across the border in El Paso, 47 states in the United States, drove around. Then I went up into Canada, into Alberta, then BC, then the Yukon, then the Northeast Territories. And there's some targeted individuals in Canada that are like my friends, but by the time I kind of got to where I was going there, it had just accumulated into like a war zone for me. Like I'll explain some of this stuff that happened, and it's also veered into, since it's been going on so long, it's veered into some like soul cooking type stuff, and a lot bigger things with like kind of a spiritual nature, things that we have connected to us that I didn't know about, right? I think I talked about some of that maybe on my last video. I think I made my last video like before I did a lot of traveling and went to Canada. I think my last video was like maybe a year ago or 8 months ago or something like that. But a lot's been going on. I wanted to make this short video, just kind of giving an update. Like I'm in my parents' condo, and trying to deal with things, but like things got really out of hand in Canada. I went up to the Arctic Ocean. Like I was actually on a road called the Dempster Highway. And it's not paved, and it's on like four of my tires got busted on the Dempster Highway, so I had to get them replaced. And it felt good going up there. Like I got to the Yukon and then, the Northeast Territories, and it started feeling great when I got towards this place called Eagle Plains. But then I got held over in Eagle Plains for like a month, having to replace my tires because of how dangerous the road was. Um, and then from there, like it accumulated even up in the Northeast Territories of Canada in a very dangerous way. And so, but I did go all the way to the Arctic Ocean and then back down to the United States, back home. I'm still trying to figure things out because I'm getting hit like where I live, like in my parents' place. Talk to them. When I got back, I went to the emergency room, and like that's a debacle. I did get thrown into the behavioral health center. It was like a setup, like huge setup. And I guess this is what I want to convey. Like, I haven't gotten away from the targeting. God is still like on my side. God is still helping me. I'm still strong in the spirit. But it's like wrecking my body, and it feels like I've been close to, going close to dying, a bunch of times. Um, but I guess I wanted to convey that, like, I'm still trying. I'm still trying to, and I'd stopped making videos for a while because my plan was just, go across the United States, then go up north, just get away from it, like Laffy Taffy, away from the microwave towers, which ping off my biometrics, right? Like I have tons of biometrics, like some of my clavicle, ears, shoulder, stomach, ad nauseum. Like I have a bunch of them. When I went up north to Canada, like I was in places where there were no microwave towers, and they started using like some other types of technologies, like radar technologies. They call them lidar technologies, which like if I was around mountains, it was fine. Like I wouldn't really feel much, but it would be like a beam being hit on my leg or a place on my body. And these technologies, they light up like the biometrics that I have on me. And I think that's the way that they do it for a lot of us. So I learned some things, but it was devastating because it's like ripping. I mean, they've been doing the neuro weapons and stuff so long, and it's different teams in different states. Like I think it's different teams. I'm not sure of this, but I think like there are different teams in different states, but they've been doing it so long that they're doing like this thing. Like one of the guys thinks he is me now, that he's sapped my personality, and he thinks he's taken my spirit, like this the spirit of my family. A lot of really like some of it's a psyop, but some of it's these people really have gone so far that they think they're coming up with protocols to like take the spirits out of people, like take the spirit out of your heart and your pineal gland. So like, and we're not ready for that with this technology. And I know a lot of y'all are like, what is he talking about or whatever, but this is the stuff conveyed over the, voice to skull. And some of the things they've done, like have sexual relations on the V2K on top of me, like make me feel like sapped, right? So it's gotten to that point where they've been doing it for so long that it's gotten to a really gross, like really morbid, like way more, and it just keeps going, right? God's pushing the other way with me. He's given me unbelievable strength to where like I evolve through this. I get stronger, but the depression, like I mean, I had a headache today. It like through my neck and up my head where it's just like I can barely think, and it's been wearing me down. Like it's been wearing me down, and then I'll heal back up. But when I was in the northeastern territories of Canada, it was like being in like Vietnam or something. The vehicular stalking was like literal stampede. I mean, it was like stampedes because for me, they ended up like I thought I'd go up to the Arctic Ocean and get Laffy Taffy from it, but they ended up using me for like to build inroads to infrastructure in certain places up in the Yukon in the Northeast Territory. Like I was going to go see some people in Canada that were targeted individuals, but what they did to me up there, it was like a bid for survival. Like it was like a bit like I'm lucky to have gotten out of the Yukon alive. So, so I wanted to make a short video. I think what I'm gonna do, like, it's gonna be out of sync, but I have some videos that I made, like up when I was in Canada, just like talking about the Arctic Ocean and like the latitude, longitude, and stuff like that. Some update videos and some pictures. Maybe I'll try and put up of, and I'll try and like put my stuff on Rumble too uh, because I think I am gonna start speaking out again. It's gonna be dangerous because they try and stop my heart, um, and they affect my breathing a lot. It's gonna be tough, like kind of balancing that because it is they want me to shut up. I think they did some pretty big stuff like up in Canada, and then when I came down to the United States with certain infrastructure, and they don't want me like even the people who the contractors lied to along the way, like police and stuff like that. They don't want them hearing me speak out. But I went to a bunch of police and emergency rooms up in like the Yukon, Northeast Territories, and Alberta and BC, and I documented a lot of it of what was happening. But like a lot of people knew what was going on, but they didn't know how bad it was, and nobody could stop it. However, in some places, and I'll talk more about this later. I just kind of wanted to say, hey, what's up? Like I'm not doing good. I mean, I'm doing good because God's given me strength, right? I'm doing very good, and I have like a meaning in this life still. I'm not gonna just die off for this targeting program or whatever. Um, but it's pretty tough. I forgot what I was gonna say. It's been tough with my parents because they don't really know what to do. And after I got put in the behavioral health center, like, dude, it was like I went in for pain, and I went to like so many emergency rooms like in Canada, and they didn't 5150 me. And like right when I get to my hometown, I go to the emergency room. I think I said targeted like once, and they had me in a place for a week, you know. Um, but it's tough with my parents because they like know something's going on, but they don't know how to deal with it. So they're like, let's go the psychiatric route, you know. Um, like I take medication for depression and anxiety from this. I'm glad to do that, but like I was talking to my psychiatrist and I was like, the problem I keep coming across is like this is still happening, right? After everything that I try, I'll try. He wants to put me on some kind of new medication, right? Or take my medication. I think I got off of one in Canada, but it's like I keep just saying the problem that I'm coming across is that it's still here. Um, the problem, right? And it's pretty big time. It's like so like I think about speaking out and I'm like, well, gosh, I've got a lot of people like in the place I live and remotely. I mean, more you can't imagine what happened in Canada, like where it's like almost a hit out on me now with like spotters, those vans, those white vans that are kind of like rectangle. Those are spotters that you'll see out people in like RVs that have equipment like this radar based equipment that like police will use, but it's like they're not police aren't using it. It's these surveillance groups, torture groups, experimentation groups. Um, and so I mean it's been like a war for me. It's been like that's why I really haven't made a video because I was like, well, I've got to get to a place where I get out of Vietnam, Fallujah, Black Hawk Down. I mean, it was like waking up in my car, like in Eagle Plains, Fort McPherson, Inuvik, and like almost just feeling like my heart, like my heart had been cooked, so I wasn't going to be able to move on, you know like that, like warfare like that, like electronic warfare like that. And then I come back and talk to my family, and they're just kind of like, well, you've been trying to deal with this a long time, and um, you didn't get away from it. And like I was like, Mom, I went to the Arctic Ocean. I was trying to, get away from it and be less of a burden. I ended up getting more flack, like for going to the Arctic Ocean. My attackers are such liars and they have connections. Like they have really big connections. Like I think some of them are like Air Force. They're tied into Air Force Research Laboratory, but they have connections to like the elite. Like I mean, just where they can do what they want. And so they're making me kind of forget. And they've been really messing around with like spirit cooking, like well, this is the psyop. I mean, and there's this a spiritual war now between me and the groups on me, and I need to get in some groups with some friends. Like I may start, making some videos again. I'm kind of playing it by ear because I don't want to stay in Baton Rouge, but I've been everywhere. Like I've been Cancun, across the border, El Paso. Canada was worse. Like Canada, it's like they don't have a constitution there, and my attackers were able. They like wanted. They like. There were situations that were really dangerous for me because they were trying to play me off as like a child killer or like a Unabomber type character. Like they were trying to do like false flags, call hospitals, and get the hospital shut down. Like in some of these smaller cities like up in the Northeast territories of Canada. So it got huge. Like it got to where there was a big false flag on me. And so I come back down here, and then it's like a lot more people are willing to do like nasty stuff to me because they made up new rumors in Canada where I was trying to get away, mitigate the annoyance to my family. Not annoyance, it's like destroying my family. Like, and it hurts the spirits of our family, like way more than we know. Like, I'm a scientist and a biologist. I'm also a very spiritual man. And the people who always talk about spiritual warfare, I didn't blow it off. We prayed and stuff like that, but I didn't know how big that could be because it hadn't hit me yet. Like the physical stuff was going on, and I didn't even know, like, spiritually, how my family was being damaged by these people just staying on you with equipment, parasiting off of you, intoxifying your family spirit. Like, so, like, I've had to, like, I've written, like, maybe five notebooks, and I'm like doing spiritual warfare and writing a lot, like things that I go through every day, and then reading, like, the Bible, doing a ton of spiritual warfare, and getting my creative side, creative spirit, and logical spirit converged, so that I can be really strong in God, right? So let me just say a prayer. But what I want to say first is, so I'm making this video. I'm going to put out, like, some of the places that I went in the Yukon, the Northeast Territories. I'm not sure how much I got on my camera, but I'm just going to kind of put it all out. So it might be out of order. Um, and then I need finances, guys, because, like, my mom, my dad, uh like I was getting some help from her, but then in Canada, like, I had to borrow money from her, and, like, her and my dad are like, they're like, we're not going to be giving you money for a while. We'll give you a little bit of money here and there, and it's not enough. Like, I think I'm going to have to get out of the country, or, I mean, like, I'm gonna go to the authority figures. I'll let y'all kind of know. And I know we haven't gotten anywhere on that, but in Canada, I did. In Canada, it kind of stopped it in certain places. And then down here, it's like letting people know how big this got. It got my contractors into hot water, but there's just so many of them. Like, if one of them goes down or something like that, another one will just take their place. And I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure who's gone and who's left, who's been doing it to me, and who's come on shifts, or where. I have information, but I don't want to go through all that now. I want to ask y'all if y'all could please help me at my PayPal account, paypal.me/Vulcan Wolverine. Please, please, if you can help out with just a little bit of money, because, like, I've got to travel, um, like, and I've got to try and find a sustainable way to make an income. I have my Social Security, but I really could use some help right now, guys. If you can spare it. I'm gonna say a prayer to end this. I hope y'all are all doing okay. It's been war. It's like I'm in a war. So, I haven't made videos because I'm like, well, I'm gonna try and just kind of shut my mouth. And it seemed like the best thing. My attackers were like, well, if you shut your mouth on this, we may let you go, and stuff like that. And I felt like they almost got caught in Canada because they were doing so much huge stuff. But But yeah, so it feels like a war, like, every day. I'm gonna go ahead and end this in prayer. Please remember, if you can, help me out with, like, a 20, or, just something, please. Because, like, I need some help with money, and then I could probably travel and let you guys know. And I'm gonna be putting out more information because I need to be doing more work. Like, I'm doing a lot of work with, like, spiritual warfare writing, like, kind of things down about, like, my travels and my trips and stuff like that. And also, there's huge spiritual stuff happening with me. Like, and it's probably, been happening to all of us for however many years we've been going through this targeting, but, like, a spiritual, like, real spiritual awakening. But it feels like it's in danger because you've got these groups, these contractors that, like, they do these rituals on top of people. They never stop, and there feels like spiritual damage to my family, and some very blatant things have happened that are huge, like, huge evolutionarily, to just a foundational level in my life and my family, but, like, also higher biology. So I want to say this, like, to people who maybe don't know me. A lot of how big my targeting got, even though I went to Canada, they didn't let me go. Like, they really spent a lot of money, earned a lot of money too. I think there was a lot of money going around. A lot of it was for, like, intellectual property of, like, how I was dealing with the targeting, being scared that I would speak out, and then also spiritual things I was doing and neurological things like exercises every day that writing down these attackers were like interested in, and like they would be like, oh, that's our idea, that's our intellectual property. So there was a lot of that going on too. It still is going on. But let me end this in a prayer. I love you guys. Like I'm gonna try and get more energetic and make some videos. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if there's anything really good that people are like, hey, if you do this, you can get out of it. Go talk to these people. So I'm gonna be looking around the community, but I haven't really been in touch like with the target individual community. So I'm gonna just tell y'all, probably like make videos. I'm probably not gonna get into some details because they could like literally, like there's like legal issues with how big it was in Canada. With like I could get in a lot of trouble. So I'm just gonna kind of speak in general about, because they try, like I went up to Canada. They're trying to make, like they did all this big stuff like from from the Arctic down to Louisiana in the places that I drove through with vehicular stalking and all that stuff. And then they just tell people that like I caused trouble up in Canada. So there are some people up there that like want to like, get me, right? But they're the ones, my attackers were the ones just making up stuff about me, even up like in cities like by the Arctic Ocean. Um, Really sad because I thought I was going to get away. I thought I was going to Laffy Taffy. Let me go ahead and end this with a prayer, guys. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. God, please just, in the name of Jesus Christ, watch over anybody being targeted, anybody being suppressed by tyranny, being injured and more by the tyranny of targeting Havana syndrome, extrajudicial techniques that are being severely abused in these systems, severely abused in our system, like using one target individual to like try and cultivate certain city, certain areas of the city with community policing and such like that. Like really abusive, and really warlike and really like intensely dangerous, violent, and evil. Please, God, just watch over us. Please help target individuals to get the resources they need to get to safety. Please change these things in our society. Help us to evolve to these things. Help us to evolve in Christ, our Christ spirit that can do anything, that can cure our logic, that can cure our creativity, that can bring us together to the people we need, that can put people in front of us that are good for us, um, that can provide for us in our life where it looks like it could be the end. Um, in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end it there, but I wanted to put this video out, and I'll just put like I made some random videos. Kind of thought my situation was different. I was a little bit more hopeful on some of the videos that I made from up there, and I made a cut. I think I just made like one near the Arctic Circle, like going right up there. And then some pictures and stuff like that. But I'll try and put everything out. Like I guess either on like on YouTube, on Rumble, I'll put stuff out. I'll go YouTube, Rumble, and Twitter, and I'll put out pictures and stuff like that. But please, if you can, like if you have some extra money, um, if you could help me out like with a couple of bucks, I would really appreciate it because I'm like trying to get stuff done, and like I was traveling over like the last year and getting help from my mother and my father, but I didn't get away from it, right? So they're like, we're not going to be, I'm having trouble there. I don't know if I can maybe get it back and talk to them, but it's like, I mean, being like attempted murder with microwave weapons with horrible electronic warfare where I was like trying to escape in the United States, Mexico, and Canada, and like my mom's just like, how long have you been talking about this? And I'm like, oh my god, this is serious. I mean, people, this is like warfare that you just get called crazy for, and mine's not like, they won't let me go. They're making tons of money. They say they say they're making tons of money. My attackers do, but I don't know. I think they like use the system, abuse the system, And then they get scared, like, because they could have let me go at a bunch of different points in time when I was in the United States, but then it got to a certain thing in Canada. I don't think it was Cancun, but Canada, where then something big happened where it's like they couldn't let me go because they have lied about me just so big. Like to where it was like they were trying to make me into some kind of like when I was around a building telling people that I was gonna bomb the building or something like that. Like that big. Um but I'll talk to. It's very dangerous. I have to put the videos out because like they're trying to like kill me slowly. Anyway, I'm getting the biometrics, but it's been 4 years with those magnets. And I still, there's still some external stuff that they do. It's a whole industry. Like these weapons that they're using, people want to use them, and they're like being bandied about like everywhere now. And there's this whole industry of like mapping topography with the type of stuff they use. I'll talk about it on another video. I love you guys. Y'all stay as safe as possible. I'll try and get back in touch with the community and just let y'all know what I've been doing. But I've been trying not to speak out because I thought maybe I thought the people targeting me, maybe if I would just be quiet, I could just write and maybe go to another country, stay safe for a while, and then later down the road, talk about it in general or something like that. Because I just wasn't making a lot of headway talking about it all the time. But I don't see a reason. I don't see a reason at this point where I'm at not to make some videos and put my face out there because it could be more dangerous if I didn't. Right. Um, all right. And I'll give you all more information like as I make more videos. Please leave your comments. I'll try and answer those more because I'm going to be trying to kind of stay up and doing work and working against this because it's kind of coming down to it for me, you know. All right, guys. I love y'all. Stay safe, and I will see you on the next one.